for starting your week off with the Luke Kelly Show. I think I've found the life hack that you may need for whenever you're out in public and doing a little shopping. You might already know about this life hack already. To me, it was groundbreaking. I just did it myself. Yesterday, matter of fact. Now I feel like I'm on another level. Feel like I should be awarded some sort of like man prize for this, like a man law prize. Was it Miller Lite or Bud Light back in the day used to do man law? I feel like I just figured out a man law situation here. Whenever you're out in public and you need a fart, you're at the store, you're at the mall, go inside of a Bath and Body Works. Just let out like little squeakers to where no one can really hear them. And then if they really stink, guess what? It doesn't matter. You're inside Bath and Body Works. That smell is going to be covered up. Because whenever you walk into a Bath and Body Works, guess what? You just always smell all of their products all over the place. If someone stinks in that store, you would never know. Especially yesterday when I was out, I smelt a lot of stinky people. But whenever I went inside of Bath and Body Works, never had to worry about that. It was just smelling some of the great scents that they have. I think they had some of the fall stuff out, maybe. I thought I heard Nora get like a little excited about that. And whenever I go into Bath and Body Works, not only do I let out a whole bunch of farts that are silent, I clench my cheeks together to make sure that they're not going to like let out a big, nasty sounding fart. But whenever I go inside of a Bath and Body Works, I just immediately go on my phone and start walking around. So I never like really look up when I'm in this store because there's nothing that is going to catch my interest in that store. Even the men's scents, right? Nora will ask, what kind of body wash do you want? I don't know. Whatever you grab is good. As long as I smell good once I get out of the shower, I could care less. If someone like smells me and goes, hey, what scent did you wash yourself with? Yeah, I don't know. They're like, okay, yeah, typical guy, never really knows what kind of scent he's wearing. Like, I don't want to know. Make it always be a surprise. Especially if you're doing a lot of shopping that day, right? You're away from your phone because you're walking in and out of stores, checking different things. You're checking everything but your phone. But whenever you walk inside Bath and Body Works, that's your time, if you're a dude, to catch up on the last hour that you've missed out on your life by seeing what's on Twitter, what's on TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media platforms you go on. That's your time to shine. That's where you catch up for about 20 to 30 minutes because there's no trip inside of Bath and Body Works that is super quick. Women love going in that store. They love it. They find every single excuse to go inside of Bath and Body Works. Now, I do have to say, sometimes there's a really nice old lady in the store. I feel like I always see this once whenever we go into Bath and Body Works. There'll be someone checking out, and they don't have a coupon for something. There'll be like an older lady that'll be like, hey, you need a coupon for that? I got an extra one. You need a coupon? Oh, no thanks. We already got one. Okay, just making sure, sweetheart. That's going to be their good deed for the day. Like those older ladies are doing their good deeds so that way they get sent up above. Because they did a lot of bad stuff in their life. Now they're trying to do all the good deeds that they can at the back end of their life. Yeah. What makes you a woman? Good to be inside these pearly gates. I was once at the Bath and Body Works, and I gave this little girl, she must have been like 20-something years old, but I could just tell she needed help. and I gave her a coupon for a free hand soap. Yeah. Since you did that, inside those pearly gates. But all that sex you had before, forgiven. You gave that girl a free hand soap. She gave away a lot of free handies, too. That would be me. If I was ever in line at the pearly gates and there was someone that I knew, just a couple people in front of me, I'd be like, hey, you're going to let her in, but you're still questioning on if I'm going to make it through those gates? I'd be throwing everybody and anybody under the bus in those situations. Bath and Body Works, such a really awful place to go to if you're a guy. I feel like Bath and Body Works is up there. Hobby Lobby, Michael's. What are some other terrible stores to go in if you're a dude? Like ones that you're just trapped going to if you're a dude with your wife, your girlfriend. TJ Maxx, Home Goods. What are some other ones? Those are probably about it. Any decor store, it's just miserable. It stinks. The only cool part of going into Bath and Body Works today is on the way out, I had this dude compliment me on the t-shirt that I was wearing. That was the only cool thing that happened there. I was wearing a WrestleMania t-shirt. He saw it. He goes, hey, dude, nice shirt. I was like, yeah, there's a fellow nerd. And I went to go say, hey, Nora. And she was like, that guy complimented you on your shirt. And I was like, yeah, he's a huge nerd. And when I went to go say that, and I went to like say, hey, he's a nerd just like me. She's like, why do you watch wrestling? Why do you call him a nerd? Like, yes, I get it. I was about to say, listen here first, that he's a fellow wrestling nerd. But I just felt great about it. Like, man, he liked my t-shirt. Now, I do have to say, my t-shirt that I got that says WrestleMania on it, believe the company is called Homage. Great company. Their t-shirts are very comfortable, and they have t-shirts a lot more than WWE. Pretty much any pop culture thing they have a t-shirt for. Their t-shirts are awesome. Very comfortable, lightweight. They are a little expensive for it being just a graphic t-shirt. I think it was like $30, but you could find a good discount code online. Get a good deal every once in a while. That's when I buy them. Like I got, I think 3 shirts for $40. Told you, good deals every once in a while. But it was a rough week for the WWE. Last week was, I should say. And I know you're probably like, don't talk about WWE on this. I'm not going to get like really in-depth into the WWE. But listen, Vince McMahon retired from the WWE as CEO. Yes, he stepped down for a little bit, and his daughter, Stephanie, was interim CEO for a while. But he is done with creative. He is done with the company altogether. You won't ever have Vince McMahon back in the WWE. You can't say that. But I think with all these allegations around Vince McMahon, probably never going to be back in the WWE. I think that's safe to say. But this is such a big moment in the world. Like, I remember finding out when Vince McMahon was going to retire. It's one of those moments in history that you'll remember forever. I was reading Twitter on the shitter, and I was like, no way. Vince McMahon is retiring? This dude, who I never thought was going to retire, a guy that built the company almost from the ground up, made it into this huge billion-dollar business, read an article that the WWE is worth $5 billion. Crazy to think a sports entertainment company is worth that much money. And that's because of what Vince was able to do with the company. because wrestling, sports entertainment, whatever the hell you want to call it, has always been kind of like a carny act. And Vince made it mainstream. Got it huge television deals, got huge superstars from different platforms involved. And that's what the WWE has become. And it was all because of what he did, his visionary behind it. Now, he was a good business guy. He always had a great mind for the business. But the decisions that he made in his personal life, obviously not the best. If you don't know what some of these allegations are against Vince McMahon, there's a lot of instances in which he had payoffs with women that he had some relationships with, that he had sex with, some people that worked for the company. And they signed contracts, they got paid out, and he's kind of put himself in this situation where he can't work for his own company that he's pretty much started because of dumb decisions that he made. He's a married man, too. Married man doing all this stuff. And I'm sure his wife had to know a little bit about what was going on. Like, I'm sure this wasn't a huge surprise when his wife found out. Now, she might have been a little upset that these women got money, but I don't think she ever was surprised exactly what happened. But if you saw Vince McMahon ever on TV and the way that he interacted and some of the storylines that he had in place with some of the female superstars, you'd be like, yeah, no doubt he's doing some shady shit like that behind the scenes. I mean, it was very obvious. Like I said, big brain dude, not the biggest brain in the world when it comes to doing some shitty stuff in his personal life. So, I don't know. I always find it weird when you find out certain things about people that you grew up kind of idolizing in a way. People that you grew up like, always thought can never do any wrong. And then you find out that they're like one of the biggest scuzzbags out there. You're like, oh, damn. Not that guy, too. All this shit, man. All this shit. Stephanie McMahon is a co-CEO. Nick Khan, who has been somebody that's been involved with the company for about a year now. He's the other co-CEO. But, I mean, hell, it's going to be interesting to see the direction that the company goes in now without Vince McMahon being there. You could tell that there's going to be some changes made. I watched Friday Night SmackDown just to see if you can notice any sort of different feel to the product just in day one with Vince McMahon gone. And you could tell just a little. I think here in the next couple of weeks, you will really start to see things change without Vince McMahon being the leader of that company. But since Vince McMahon was such a big-time person of my childhood, I decided that this week's top 3 should be the top 3 Vince McMahon moments in the WWE. Let's start at number 3, where he pissed himself on TV when Stone Cold Steve Austin was holding a gun to his head, and he pulled the trigger, and it just said, bang, 316 on it. And the sell job by Vince McMahon on that was fantastic. His facial expression, and then I don't know if he really did piss himself or they used some sort of liquid substance that he was able to break. But he pissed himself. It looks great. I think he pissed himself. I'll never know. It's TV. It's entertainment. So it looked just like Ernie did in Billy Madison when Vince McMahon pissed himself on an episode of Monday Night Raw. That's the number 3 moment of the top 3 Vince McMahon moments on WWE television. The number 2 moment is when Vince McMahon died on TV. This happened a while ago now, But it was at a moment that Vince McMahon was walking back to his limousine, and just like all the superstars were kind of, looking at him as he was walking back, he gets into his limousine, he shuts the door, boom, explosion. Limousine is in flames. Vince McMahon's inside of that thing. Now, people didn't know if this was real life or this was story, because the WWE stock, it was like just when the WWE went public, and the WWE stock went down, like big time, because Vince McMahon, everyone thought was dead. They're like, oh my God, Vince McMahon died in a limousine. It blew up on live TV. Did you see that? And then the next week, Vince McMahon had to come out. He was all good. Vince McMahon came back to life after being blown up in a limousine. I don't even think, so Vince McMahon, basically Jesus in that situation. On the seventh day, he rose again, rose from the flames of a limousine. That's the number 2 Vince McMahon moment in the top 3 Vince McMahon moments on WWE television. The number one spot, I think, is probably the most iconic. It was a big success in his eyes, is when he bought the WCW. That was such a huge moment. I remember watching it on TV. I think it was like 2001 or 2002. I want to say it was 2001. But I remember seeing this on TV, and it was Vince McMahon standing in the back saying that he bought WCW, and then Shane McMahon was the one that said that, the contract does read McMahon on there, but it says Shane McMahon. That was a great moment in television. But Vince McMahon had to love that. And that kind of put the end to the Monday Night Wars. So it was a big, huge success for him. So that was the top 3 Vince McMahon moments on WWE television. So straight character mode, okay? We're not breaking down the top 3 good guy Vince McMahon stuff. I'm just talking about the character Vince McMahon on TV. It's a good job, Vince. Vince McMahon. I still can't believe that. Everything that he did. I mean, he brought a lot of happiness to my childhood, but I still can't believe all that shit. Come on, Vinnie Mac. All right. Maybe at some point I could buy the WWE. Maybe you could help me buy the WWE, because the Mega Millions for tomorrow, on Tuesday, July the 26th, as of right now, as I'm recording this podcast, that jackpot is worth $790 million. Like I said, WWE is worth $5 billion, so I would need some other investors to go in on it. So if you want to be one of those other people that invest in it, please holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. But I always think about this, and I'm sure you think about it a lot too, because that's like one of the big American dreams, right? Oh, when I win the lottery, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Tell you one of the first things that I would do. One of the first things that I would do, I'd find a lawyer. It'd be one of the first things that I would do. Get everything situated. In Kentucky, I'll tell you this, you can stay anonymous, so that's great. No one really has to know about it. But I would totally retire, and I would buy my house out, rent it out, go buy myself another house somewhere, and just start living life the way that I would want to. Playing golf all the time. Going to WWE shows whenever I want. Going to Cubs games whenever I want. I mean, I would have houses all over the damn place. That's what I would want to do. I wouldn't spend it on cars. Wouldn't spend it on like a lot of dumb shit. Just a couple of nice houses and be able to enjoy my hobbies. That's about it. That's all I need to do. I don't need anything else expensive in life. I don't need to live over the top. But those are just some of the basic things that I would do if I won the lotto. I always used to say I would work. I would continue to work. No, I would not. I would not continue to work. That was when I was a little bit younger. I was working in morning radio. And I don't know if that was part character of the show that was saying that, or if that was really me saying that I would completely keep working if I won the lotto. I mean, I'm cheap. Don't get me wrong. And I would want more money coming in. I wouldn't want to spend money on a lot of stuff. But I'm telling you, now, having different careers, I would definitely retire. Do what I want to do whenever the hell that I want to. Make sure my money's in the right spots. But man, that would be glorious to retire at like 31 years old. Me and Nora retire at 31 years old. Man, finally able to go on a nice honeymoon. Oh. Yep, still haven't been. Year plus in now. Still haven't been on a goddamn honeymoon. We got to do that. We got to save up for that. Maybe I'll find a way to do that. But if I win that lotto, better believe we'll be gone for like 10 days. Doing whatever the hell we wanted to do for 10 days. And then come back and do whatever we had to do. Real life shit. Man, so don't forget, buy your Mega Millions ticket. It's for tomorrow, Tuesday, July the 26th. Buy it. Who knows? It's a couple bucks. Buy a couple bucks. And if you win, only using a couple bucks, that's pretty awesome. Will the risk be worth the reward to you? Find out. You'll find out. All right, dudes, dudettes, thank you so much for listening to the show today. I'm going to have another episode for you on Wednesday. We'll get another smut tale from my wonderful wife. And who knows? I might not actually do the podcast on Wednesday because I found out that I won the Mega Millions on Tuesday. So who knows? Maybe I won't be doing it. Because if I do the no, I would still do the podcast from Wednesday. I would still do it. Okay? I'm not going to leave you just yet if I become a millionaire. Win $790 million. I'm not going to quit on you just yet. All right? So we'll talk to you on Wednesday here on The Luke Kelly Show.